So the first product we're gonna go through is our ski mask. As you can see, it's really similar to what you would have with a regular ski mask. The material it's made out of is polar fleece, or also known as microfiber. It's a great material for winter cycling accessories, which is actually present in a couple of other products of ours as well. It's great because it keeps in the warmth while also having somewhat a good of a permeability with air, so you don't really get too much sweat underneath. The way you use this is basically quite simple. Just pull over your head, just as so. Adjust so that the eyes have a little bit of wiggle room around the edges, so it doesn't really impede your peripheral vision if you have to look above your shoulders, and make sure it's over your nose. The reason it has to be over your nose is because it warms up the air you're breathing in. One thing you might want to practice is that if you want to blow your nose, because obviously if you're cycling for longer times in the winter, your nose might get filled. All you do is you take a napkin, pull it down as such, and then blow it sideways. Thermo poncho. It's a great way to protect your neck, your shoulders, and the back of your spine, the top of your spine. The way you use it is you take it on with the least part in front. So you put your head through as such. And then you adjust the Velcro at the neck. You should adjust it to be somewhat tight, because maybe a bit tighter than it might seem at first, because when you're cycling, you tend to lean a bit forward, so the back part at your neck might come up. So if you tighten it well enough, then that shouldn't happen, and it should not only keep your neck warm and your shoulders, but also keep the wind from coming in behind your neck and basically making your, for lack of a better word, your hump cold, which is the top of your spine, which is, if exposed to cold air, can cause quite some pain. Second product in our product line is our patented Thermo poncho. It's a piece of product that's meant to protect your neck, your shoulders, and the very top of your spine on your back from cold. The bottom material is made from microfiber, or microfleece, or polar fleece, which you might remember from our ski mask. It's great for keeping warmth in, and it's way better than a scarf as well, because it not only protects your neck somewhat while having air whistle out at places, but actually covers your entire upper body. And it's basically like wearing an extra layer without having an extra layer on your lower upper body, making you sweat on your back, which you're probably familiar with if you bike somewhat regularly. The way you put it on is you basically put the Velcro part in front and pull your head through as such. After this, you want to adjust the Velcro tape at your neck, and you want to put it a bit further up your neck, so it kind of reaches your top vertebrae that's kind of like standing out at your neck here, and make sure you cover that, and then fasten it maybe a little bit more tighter than you would feel comfortable at first. But it's actually really important, because if you're cycling, you tend to bend a bit forward, which makes the back part of it kind of come up so the air whistles in. So make it a bit tighter, and you'll see that when you're a bit hunched over your bike, it will be completely comfortable. Then you just tighten out the shoulder parts, and then put your coat or whatever extra layer, if any, you're wearing above it, and it will function as a basically scarf on steroids. So next up on our list is our gloves. We wanted to make sure that it not only keeps your hands warm, but also your wrists. It's really important because a lot of, especially cycling gloves, they might fit well on your fingers and your upper hand, but they don't really go down all the way to your wrist, keeping it warm. And when you're cycling in the winter, one of the most important things is keeping your joints warm. Your wrists, your shoulders, your knees especially. So the way we designed our gloves is so that they actually have a bit of a longer lower part, which go all the way down on your wrists, keeping it all the way warm. It's kind of fastened over here. They go easily under a coat or anything you would want to wear over it. And they are, as you can see, they're 2-fingered gloves. We think that this is the best design for warmth because you can have 5-finger versions, but they keep less heat in. So having a 2-finger design helps us keep the fingers even warmer. So if spring's coming or you're just living in an area where the winter is just less harsh, one thing you can do is you can actually bend your finger parts down, and with a Velcro we added at the top of the finger parts, you can actually fasten them down so they don't flap up in the wind or anything. You can also do this with the thumb as well. And this basically has 2 functions. One is so if it's not cold enough, if you're feeling a bit warmer and you mainly want to protect your wrists, you can use it with fingers out. Or if you're just searching for your keys, going through your pockets, want to use your smartphone, then you could just bend them down, periodically to use them, and you can bend them back up at will. They're quite flexible in that way. The material is mostly polar fleece, as we've seen with our thermal poncho and our ski mask before. I think it's a great material because it keeps the warmth in while also letting your hand breathe, so you don't really sweat underneath. Next up on our set of products is our knee warmers or knee protectors. So basically, one of the most important joints and one of the most complicated joints in the body are the shoulders and the knees. These are 2 of the most important parts to keep safe when you're cycling in, let's say, extreme conditions, which could be winter. Most knee protectors we found on the market are suboptimal. The reason being is that they either protect from impact in the front or just keeps you warm on the front. The problem is most of the knee warmers we found on the market, not only on the domestic market but on the international market as well, is they don't really keep the sides of your knees warm, which are actually where the joints are most vulnerable. Usually most knee warmers just protect the front and they just let the cold air basically cool and damage your cartilage and all the stuff, your joints on the sides. So how we designed our knee protectors is that they protect all the way, not only in the front, but especially on the sides. So the way you put this on might seem a bit tricky at first, but it's actually quite intuitive once you get the hang of it. A little tip you can see is that in the middle you can see a little arrow or a downward pointing triangle. This should be pointing downwards, and that's where your knee should be. So the way you put this on is you put your leg on top of something. Your leg should be 90 degrees when you put it on. It's actually quite important so it doesn't really come loose. You put it over your knees, and the little triangle should be at your knees directly. You take the bottom part with the Velcro, put it under your knee, and then fasten this one first. Okay, then comes the upper part. You stretch it out over your thigh as much as you can or as much as you want to. Then fasten that and fasten the Velcro above that. And then you also have the middle part, which is basically made so that the little micro fleece part, which protects the sides of your knees, doesn't really come loose. You fasten the middle part as well, and that's it. Next item on our list is our ankle protectors or ankle warmers. This serves a double function actually. The first one, the most important one, is to keeping your ankle joints safe and warm. The way you put this on is you take the white part at the top, put it over your ankle, and then just fasten the Velcro part behind your ankle. If it came up a bit, you just fold it down and pull it down on your leg. What's important is that it should be under your pants, firstly to keep your ankles warm and also to keep this part of your pants clean from oncoming sludge and dirt and whatever. It could even help to keep the top of your shoes clean as well. And what's important is that it covers the part between your shoes and your pants, keeping them warm. So when we first designed our set of products, we mainly aimed at our own winters and our own climate, which is usually dry. But then we realized we should probably aim at places, or maybe because our climate might change as well, that we should invest into rainproof products as well. This is where our shoe covers come in. So as you might have seen with our ankle protectors, it actually helps to keep the top of your shoes and the bottom of your pants clean and somewhat dry, helping you, protect against oncoming sludge, rainwater from puddles and all that stuff. But it doesn't help to keep your entire shoes dry and warm. If you ever had wet shoes in the winter, you probably know the pain that I'm talking about. It's horrible. You have to carry dry socks on you all the time and maybe even a new pair of shoes, which is just a hassle. So this is where the shoe covers come in as a solution. The way you put this on is you have two little fasteners at the bottom and the little tip at the end. This is where you should start and put your toes in first. So at the end of the sides, you can see that there's Velcro tapes to help you fasten it from the back. So once you have your toe part in, that's when you fasten it from the side, pulling it over, and then using the Velcro on the other side to fasten it. And it should look something like this. The way that it should look, as you can see, is that it should protect your shoes from all sides, except obviously from the bottom, which if you're wearing shoes with soles, you shouldn't have a problem there. But it should help to protect your shoes from rain, from snow, from oncoming sludge, or rainwater from puddles. As you can see, we also added a few visibility tapes as well, so it helps with your overall visibility if you're cycling in not the best lighting conditions. We thought about making our gear rainproof as well. So for the upper body, we usually recommend just buying a raincoat, just a whatever raincoat to protect you from your head down to your waist. For the lower body, you can either buy an entire rain pants, which you pull over your regular pants, but they can be kind of a hassle to, first of all, find. Second of all, they're usually somewhat more expensive as well. And thirdly, they're kind of a hassle to put on and take off. So the way we protect our lower body from rain is with two accessories. Rather than having one rain pants, you protect your feet and your shoes with our shoe covers, which you might have seen before or will see next, and our thigh protectors. Basically, when you're cycling, on your lower body, two areas are the ones that are most susceptible to getting wet. These being your shoes and your upper thigh, because that's just the area that is exposed to rain and snow. The way the thigh protectors work is basically you just pull them over your shoes as such, pull it all the way up to your thighs, and it should look something like this. It's basically meant to protect your upper thigh from rain because that's the largest area that is exposed to rain and snow, and it should help you keep this area warm and dry. And if you have shoe covers as well, your lower body with just a regular set of pants should generally be good to go.